Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, so chances are this is the last video I'm going to shoot for the week because you know how I do. Weekends are for the family. And I wanted to go over, the Nintendo 3DS. Is it worth it in 2025 to pick one of these up? Now, it's not like they're cheap anymore. If you go hunt one of these down, they generally run, 150 or better. So, I mean, yeah, is it worth it to spend 150 on something that doesn't even have an online shop anymore or online services? I'm going to say yes. I mean, with all of our emulation handhelds out there, one of the things people like to see is how does 3DS run on this handheld? Okay, and most of the time we get handhelds that anymore for $200, $200 price range or better, we're getting decent 3DS emulation. Now it's always a fight because the emulators are being shut down left and right, and we got to get new ones, and we got to do this, and we got to do. There's all kinds of obstacles, and you never know. It's not a stable thing, and you never know when that 3DS emulation side of thing is just going to come to a stop. So if that's the case, then maybe the market for 3DS will go up in price. And I was thinking about that when I decided to shoot this video. So although I have handhelds that can do 3DS emulation and do it quite well, nothing really beats having the the dual screen action. And as you guys know, I have a handheld that does that too. So, but should you go out and pick up one of these, I honestly, in 2025, I think you should. Modding them or jailbreaking them is getting easier. There's one step in the process that is slightly annoying, and you gotta have the handheld open and powered on, and you gotta pull the SD card in the middle of something, and you gotta hold it still, and you can't touch any button on it. So you're scared to set it down because it might hit L or R, and you gotta put the SD card back in the computer, and you gotta put it back in here, and make sure you're not hitting any buttons, and that can be a pain in the ass. But realistically, you can mod one of these in about 15 minutes if you know what you're doing. And that's roughly what it took me. So, and there's a whole guide out there. I would go over the guide and I would show you how to do this on my channel, but I do everything in real time. And that video, just doing like a NAND dump, would take, I don't know, 30 minutes or better for that. So it'd be an hour-long video on it. There's already cut videos out there. Absolutely go hunt them down. You can see them, homebrew in 2025 and all that. So, but let's jump into it. So after you get to that point, what this will allow you to do is you'll have things like Anemone here, which is your theme manager. So instead of going up here and using this as themes or going to the theme shop, you can go into here and you're going to use that to apply your themes, and you can get your themes from hShop. So now in hShop, that's where you're going to get everything. Everything. Okay? That's where all this comes from. So you go out, you spend about $150 to $200 on this thing. You don't have to necessarily worry about going to pick up a bunch of carts because you can just do this. Now, something interesting about the 3DS is it's a great piece of hardware. Okay, it's a great device. I love it to death. Not a lot of people actually use the 3D screen. Most people I've talked to don't use the 3D screen effect. For me, it depends on the game. I love it for Gunvolt. Okay, Gunvolt's one of my favorite 3DS games. Probably my favorite 3DS game. I was never really a Mega Man fan. The sponsor of our channel is a huge Mega Man fan. I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. He's all about Mega Man and all that. So it's interesting around holidays because he'll buy me Metal Gear Solid shit. I'll try and get him Mega Man stuff. You'll see that upcoming videos with the FP GBC that's on the way. It'll be in a Mega Man shell. You've seen my my Analog Pocket with the Metal Gear Solid stuff on it. So, we do that for each other because we know, Anyway, but some years ago, I dug out a couple 3DSs that were laying around my house from a long time ago. I did this to them, and I discovered Gunvolt and fell in love with it. Amazing game. And we'll get into that. So after you, well, let's just say homebrew this thing, okay? We'll try and use nice soft words here for people, but let's say homebrew. So after you homebrew this, a lot of them won't point you in the direction of this. But there is a person out there, I can't remember his name, or I'd direct you to him, but he has a channel to homebrew this stuff. And on his channel, what he did is he he pulled up QR codes with his phone, put it in front of the camera, and you can take your 3DS, scan the QR code through the video, and it'll take you right to it's a direct download link to this. If you see that video, absolutely safe to do it. Go ahead, but you have to be at a certain point with your 3DS for that to work. So you got to be done with the homebrew mod jailbreak process here. So what hShop is going to give you, and this is what makes it worth it, is your store. Games, updates, DLC, virtual console, DSiWare, videos, extras, and themes. So if you do go get themes, so if you run through here and download themes, you're going to use that Anemone app to apply these themes. Okay? And let's go ahead and grab one. Let's find... I went the wrong way for this. Oh. Well, you know what? Oh, wait, here we go. Let's take it. So, interesting thing about the 3DS, and even when the store was active, the 3DS itself limits your download. Okay? So, even for something like hShop, and if you remember, back when the store was actually open, downloads took forever. So, you're thinking, you could have a, fucking, I don't know, 500 gig connection, and a 1 gig game still going to take you 30, 45 minutes. Okay, it's limited by the hardware. So if you jump in, and you can get it from all these different categories, and it's not a complete list, okay? It's a hell of a lot, but you will notice small titles here and there are missing. Okay? But just everything on here already it's a lot. I mean, just look at it. So you can't go wrong with it because you can grab really anything you want. Mostly anything you want. So let's see. Let's find something interesting here. There we go. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see here. I want to find something decent size. Yeah, let's just stop here. So, Retro City Rampage, I think I got that downloaded. So we're going to hover over this. Right here, it'll tell you the approximate size. Now, something like that's probably going to take you 10, 15 minutes. And then once you get into the gig, you're looking 30, 45 minutes. So, but when you get to this point, and you're curious, how do I do updates and DLC? You want to do game, update, then DLC. That's the order you want to download and install them in. Now that's older jailbroken home brewed stuff that did it before. You have to do it that way. I've noticed since I just did this one the other day, if I download a game, after I download, it'll say missing titles in queue. And then if I just hit the queue, it'll show me the DLCs or the updates and DLCs for that game. And then I could just download them all right after. So it makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about messing up the order and screwing up the game. So let's jump out of here. Close it down. And let's jump into here. I haven't actually used this in a long time. Okay, but there's the theme we just downloaded from hShop right there. Okay, pretty sure it's highlighted. Yeah, so I can hit A, install. Now right here, and here's what's neat about it, is because you can kind of mix and match stuff. So I have the Gunvolt theme that we just got from hShop downloaded. It's sitting right here and ready. Now I can do the normal install, get the whole theme, music, all of it together. I can grab just the background music, or I can do no background music and just have, you know, the images. So, or you can do like a shuffle install and get whatever, if you have a bunch of them downloaded. So we're going to hold up, and it's going to, or just tap up, I guess, and it's going to install the single theme. And then we're going to hit start to exit. Oh, what did I hit? I haven't used that app in a long time, so I probably horrifically screwed that up. Let's try that again. I probably fucked it up. It looks like it was already installed. So yeah, see, it's check marked and all that. Want to make sure. No, see, now I can change it by hitting B. So shuffle all my installed themes. I can get rid of the music, do whatever. Let's try this again. I think what it's telling me is I might want to power cycle it. We're off, and we're back on. But you shouldn't be scared. If you pick one of these up, it is, I don't know, looking at the task ahead like, oh, do I really want to do this? Is it risky? There we go. Now we get the Gunvolt theme. Love it. There's Mighty Gunvolt Burst. I love that one too. But so you look at the 3DS guide on how to do this, and there is a disclaimer in there that you can, well, brick your handheld. That's why we do a NAND dump to attempt recovery if something gets screwed up. Also, something that's on there that you may see, may or not see. I can't remember if it's on the guide, but it's also something some people don't really cover. They might have it in text form in a small box that says use this. Don't go above a 64 gig card, okay? Don't. 64 gig is your max, 32 is the sweet spot. If you go 64, format it before you stick it in. Put it in FAT32. That way everything goes smooth from that point on, all right? If you have a 32 gig card, it's already in FAT32, you're fine. If it goes 64, format to FAT32. And I'm just saying it's going to increase load times, and there's going to be compatibility issues if you go above 64. 128, 256, all that. That's a lot, guys, and it's going to cause problems. But here's the thing. Even with 64, all right, most of the games are under a gig. I mean, there's some of them in there like Metal Gear Solid that's 3, 4, whatever gigs, and they're pretty big. But if most of them are, 500 meg and less, you're going to have, 100 plus games on here. And I bet you can't even name 100 3DS games that you want to play right now. You probably have a list of maybe 10. And some fanatics, maybe 25. So, but let's jump into it, show you how, I don't even know what the hell, I think I clicked on Gunvolt, didn't I? Yep, okay. Let's jump into it, show you how it all works. And as you can see, nothing in there. And of course I picked up the Striker pack out of the hShop. Now I'm really curious how the 3D screen is going to look when I kick that on. So I'm used to like the new model. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I know I'm holding it close. I'm looking around it. let's just pick one. Strike. I absolutely love Gunvolt. It's probably the game I like the most because it works so well with the 3D screen. Like that. Let's see how this looks on a camera. Oh, you can't tell shit. To me, that effect right there is the best 3D effect the screen has. I know you can't really see it through the camera, but for a 3DS, this game was absolutely meant for this screen. I mean, for me, everything is just popped out. This is all really sticking out. This is all sticking out, nice and popped out. The character is set really far back. I mean, I know you're thinking, that's 3D, dumbass. And I'm just explaining how in-depth it is. I've played a lot of 3D games on a 3DS, and I don't really care enough about it. It doesn't stand out enough for me to keep the 3D thing on. But for Gunvolt, it is absolutely amazing. It does actually feel like it's just a little window here that I'm looking in, and I can reach in and grab this little fucker and squeeze his head. So it's amazing. This is a newer save file, so I do have a save file on another one that, I don't know, I'm like max level, beat the game, have all the guns and all the equipment. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Yeah, shoot me, that's fine. So, on this game, as you beat levels and things like that, do a little slow fall, there will be challenges where they want you to go back into the level and, like, complete it in this amount of time, or play the level without getting hit, or find all the little hidden medals that'll be in those little capsules you just seen. This game really keeps you coming back to play it. So whatever you get from hShop works just fine. I mean, the download and install portion takes forever because it's limited by the hardware, but it's great. Absolutely love it. I think it's worth it. If you have a 3DS, I highly suggest going the route of that 3DS guide and doing this. Okay. This folder up here is all the other stuff I'm not really going to use anymore, but like FBI for, unpacking CIAs and whatnot. PKSM I've never used. And there's absolute programs out there that'll give you like the Pretendo network. So you can go online again and play with friends and play with people on the Pretendo network and have online again with this. So, thanks to the modding community, we have that back with this thing. Checkpoint, that's for saves. And then this is all the other bullshit I don't use. I stuff them all in a folder and get rid of it. I stuff it off to the side because I don't want it. I just want, my theme manager, my shop, and then my games. That's all I want. So, anyway, if you have a 3DS, really consider doing this. If you've done it, what's your favorite game? What's your favorite 3DS game? Do you have a game like me where I'm like, this changed the 3DS for me? This made me actually love the 3D screen? If you do, suggest one. Let me know. I'm really curious. I haven't played a ton of 3DS. I've played a fair amount, but I haven't gone through like I have something like PlayStation where I've played, 1,000 games and know what they're about and done this. Now, I haven't done that with the 3DS. My list of 3DS games is probably 15 deep. You know what I mean? But it's worth it, guys. In 2025, if you see a 3DS for a good price, if you see one under, let's say, $140, it's worth it. As long as everything's working, make sure the camera's working. Okay, let's be very clear. If you're going to do this, you're going to want the camera working for certain things, especially just to scan QR codes to get what you need real quick. It makes it super simple. Okay, and don't be scared to do it. Don't be scared to homebrew this. Follow the guide. Pull up a video. First time I did it to one of these, it was years ago. Okay, long time ago at this point. I had the guide up on one screen. I had a video up on like my phone. So I was following the guide. I was following the video. So I'd read the guide, see what the person in the video did, and I would compare notes and figure out, okay, so he's following this guide exactly. This is what I need to do. And I would pause the video and go step by step and stay with them and follow them all the way to the point where I had everything I wanted on it. Okay, it's going to take some time. And let me tell you right now, if you're doing it, okay, if you're going to be like, all right, today I'm going to homebrew this shit, set aside some time. Do not get interrupted. Do not get sidetracked. Do not forget where you are. Do not forget your place. If it's your first time, set aside 45 minutes to an hour just to be safe. And that's mainly for the NAND dump. If it's not your first time, you know what you're doing, ignore me. But when you do stuff like that, guys, don't get distracted. Don't let anybody take you away from it, because if you come back and you forget where you're at and you screw up, that's how systems get bricked right there. So if you're in the middle of modding this, you get a phone call, ignore it. If you answer it, you walk off, you deal with the wife, you deal with the kids, whatever. You're going to come back, you're going to forget your place, you're going to do something out of order, and your 3DS is going to die. Don't do that. Okay? Stay focused, get it done all in one fell swoop. But yeah, if you have a 3DS, like I said, let me know. I'm really curious. Is 3DS like your main handheld? Is that like your make or break thing? Because I have people that watch my videos and they're, you know, vegan. I'm talking about you fight game fans and, you know, stuff like that. So everybody has their thing. You know, is 3DS high up on your list? Is it one of the consoles where if you're going to buy a $200 emulation device, are you like, does this play 3DS? Because that's make or break for me. 3DS has never been that for me. I love Gunvolt. I'm probably have more regular DS games that I like than 3DS games. I mean, I like Kirby, like the Planet Robobot. That game's pretty awesome. But for DS, man, I like Final Fantasy Tactics. I like Clash of Heroes. You know, there's a bunch of shit on there. Lunar Nights. I mean, anyway. I think it's worth it. I love this little device. It's always really cool. And I know I have a big, badass, expensive 8840U version of it, so I don't need this one. And today it's actually being packaged up and shipped out to somebody who wanted it. Okay, trying to keep the handheld community alive. I got contacted asking if I could get my hands on one of these. I did, and it's going to go out to that person. And honestly, I really don't make anything off of it. It's, you know, I'm going to break even. But it helps somebody out. So, being Friday, you guys know this is my last video for the weekend, unless something super exciting happens or I just can't contain myself and I got to make a video for everybody. I do know of some of the news that's out there right now. I need time to process this bullshit. Okay? I was torn between this video or that video today, and I need to wait a couple days to see if any more info comes out. Because I just can't right now with this. This is, it's a disappointment already. Okay. Just regurgitating the same shit. I appreciate you making a smaller Pocket S. That's probably still going to cost $200. It's ridiculous. Okay, it's the same shit. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be smaller, but that fucks the point. I'm waiting to do a full video on it, guys, because I'm hoping I'm going to see something that makes me feel like it stands out. I mean, I've read a little bit about it, so I know they're like, you know, just kind of drip feeding everybody info, but right now, you're really showing your Retroid side, because this is like the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus. Looks a lot like that to me. It almost looks like I and Neo let Powkitty design a handheld. So, anyway, I'm not going to get too far into it. I need, like I said, I want to take time to process this bullshit and maybe see some more info on it before I do what I do, which is viciously attack this and tear it apart and whatnot. And you know what? If the price is right, that'll make up for it. If this shit's $100, if it's an Aya Neo for everyone, finally. I mean, why don't they do that? An Aya Neo pocket device most people can afford. Oh, because they're, a boutique handheld company. They're assholes. But all right, guys, I'm gonna end it here. It's been a decent week. I'm sorry my week wasn't full of just handheld videos. I did have that WISPA event to deal with. Don't have anything like that coming up anytime soon. Next week, we are going to go over an Evercade. That's right. I picked up an Evercade from the sponsor yesterday. I also have the Super Pocket. And we are going to go over Evercade carts, and what works with the Super Pocket and what's more feasible. Buying like the Evercade EXP, I think it's what, $200 maybe. I'd have to look, guys, don't quote me. Versus the Hyper Mega Super Ultra Tech Super handheld thing that you get for $60 that says it plays Evercade cartridges. I'll be testing that this weekend. I did a little test last night. I am surprised in a lot, but I do want to give it a little bit more time and give you guys an accurate assessment on that. That video will probably be Monday. I will be going over that. And continuing into next week, I'm finally going to get around to doing the original Odin versus the Retroid Pocket 5. Which $200 device should you go for? So you got that going next week. Also, like I said, we're waiting on the FPGBC to show up. We're waiting on the Classic. We're waiting on a Miu Mini Flip V2. So no movement on that yet, guys. I'll keep you updated. That's been pre-ordered. I know they said the 30th. We're 2 days away, so hopefully by Monday, Tuesday, I would assume I am going to get shipping info on that one. And we'll finally be checking out the Miu Flip. We didn't want the V1 because, of course, like most companies, they didn't test shit and the hinge sucked. So the V2 they promise is better, and the hinge is better, and I guess we'll find out. We're not going to be able to compare because I wasn't dumb enough to go get a V1, but we'll just have the V2 and we'll see how well that goes. So, all right, guys, I will see you next week. Hit me up in the comments and catch you in the next episode.